I'm tired of hearing, I'm going to bring awareness to this and awareness to that. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back into the channel. As always, your host, Clinton Yoder here.
And I'm Corey McClendon.
And we are glad that you chose to spend some time with us today. We kind of got a little change up this morning on our recording on our podcast. We had a guest that was scheduled to be on today, and they double scheduled, I guess, double booked. And hey, it happens sometimes. It's okay. It's no issue whatsoever. So we kind of had to scramble together and decide that we're going to either put the recording off or we're going to just, I guess you could say, send it.
Yeah.
And we are going to send it this morning. And so we're excited to see where it goes and where it lands and all those good things. So we do have a gentleman that popped into the studio that decided he's going to throw his headphones on and chat a little bit. And old Kirk Hayden.
Thanks for letting me sit in.
Thank you guys. You were on season 1.
He's been on twice,
I think.
Maybe season 1 and season 2. So another welcome back.
Yep,
guest.
welcome back. We got our Farmhouse coffee kicking us off this morning.
Yeah, got a little pumpkin spice this morning.
You want pumpkin spice?
Oh yeah.
I hope that the gentleman that doesn't like.
I hope he does see it.
No, I hope that's what I'm saying. I hope he gets on and comments, makes some more comments about your pumpkin spice.
And I hope you go get you a pumpkin spice
because it'll change your life.
It really will.
We got some jokes to kick off.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a?
You go ahead with yours.
Go with mine. A little riddle. We've done that now twice in the last 2 episodes, and it's been a pretty big hit. So we're going to keep doing that. So, Sean, you're up. Let's see if you can get this one. All right. So if you drop me, I'll crack, but if you smile at me, I'll smile back.
If you drop me, I'll crack, and if you smile at me, I'll smile back. I'm so lost.
You haven't got one of them yet.
I'm so lost.
Come on, Corey. Come on, Kirk. Let me say it one more time. If you drop me, I'll crack, but if you smile at me, I'll smile back.
Not an egg.
Nope.
I'm stumped.
Okay, you're stumped. Well, it's kind of simple. Every one of y'all use it every morning, mostly. I mean, if you, I bet every one of us have
Mirror.
A mirror. Bam.
Oh.
Mirror.
Golly. I'm gonna hit my kids with that one.
Yeah. We had one last week that it was.
I don't even remember.
Something about a ton. It ended up being a ton.
Yeah.
And Corey was like, I seen it enter his brain.
Yeah, you could have seen that and enter my brain too. That one, it clicked all of a sudden.
So I enjoy doing those. They're kind of fun.
I do too. I like seeing Sean's mind turn on those.
It just locks up.
Yeah, it's so funny. All right, so would you rather? And I have thoroughly enjoyed this because these pick you guys' brains, and I just love them. Would you rather have unlimited gas for your car or unlimited groceries for your family?
Groceries.
Okay, as an entrepreneur, I'd rather have gas, unlimited gas, because then I would sell the gas and then I could go buy all the groceries I want, and I'd have both. Groceries spoil; they go to waste after a while.
But it's unlimited.
Yeah, but you're wasting it. You won't waste gas. You'd waste groceries.
Does have a point. You could sell the gas.
You could sell the gas and then buy the groceries. Actually, you could buy steak.
I could sell groceries and buy gas.
It's a super good.
Well, I mean, you could
unlimited
buy steaks,
groceries.
and it's unlimited.
Oh, that's true. So you could just have steak.
You know how much steaks are right now?
Yes.
You get unlimited steaks, hey buddy.
Imagine how many. Imagine how many.
They're unlimited.
Imagine how many grocery stores you could open up with like unlimited groceries.
Well, it's just for your family.
Yeah, this is just for your family.
Oh, just for your family?
So that's why I'm saying gas, like unlimited gas. Like,
but I mean, it's also says
just siphon that stuff.
I can only drive
just
so
for
much.
your car.
Yeah, but I just keep siphoning it. It's unlimited. Just siphon it and sell it. It's mine, and now it's not.
There should be more context behind this. It's like you can't siphon the gas.
I feel like that's what I'm gonna have to start preparing on these would you rather, just having like stipulations to them, to be like, hey, Clinton, you can't siphon the gas, or you can't do this. You're like, it's gonna be like a full legal contract in a would you rather. Stipulations and subcategories and.
Oh, that's great. So, I want to ask both of y'all a question, switching a little bit more serious, and it ain't got to be a serious answer, but what is something that a highlight in your life recently? Start with you, Corey. What's a highlight? Something that stands out.
I'm gonna tell you. So, my highlight probably. I mean, what are we talking? Month?
Just in the recent.
Yeah.
I'd go. Let's go last month. That's fair.
I think the highlight for me is me and my family have made a dramatic change in our home. So with recent events and everything, just had a really really revelation from God, and I'm so thankful for that. I realized as I was praying, I have a pretty long drive, and so I typically and recently have been trying to use that time not just as listening to radio or whatever, but to really seek out Christ and build that relationship and things like that. And so one day I was driving home and just felt like the Lord spoke to me that my boys know more about baseball than they do about Jesus.
Ooh.
And so in that moment, I really had a choice to make. And so I went home and I talked to my wife and I said, hey, this has got to change. And so we decided that we're going to control what music we listen to. Mm-hmm. We're going to control what shows and what TV we watch.
Control your controllables.
Yeah, and then every night before bed, we're going to read. What we've done is, because I have two boys, one is about to turn 3, and then I have a 9-year-old. So different playing fields and understanding and being able to comprehend things. So we read from the Bible a story, and then we have a app it's actually called Bible App for Kids. If you have young kids, it's a great app to go get. It illustrates stories in the Bible and gives them trivia questions to make sure they comprehend it. And so what we do is we try to find a story that's in that Bible App for Kids. We actually go read the text through the Bible, and then we follow that up with the illustrated app.
Yeah.
And then that's we cool. all pray together.
That's cool.
And
that's awesome,
so
man.
each family member prays.
Yeah.
So starting with my wife, and then we try to get the 3-year-old to pray. He's less than inclined right now because he is has the attention span of a squirrel. And then we allow our 9-year-old to pray, and then I finish it out with a prayer of a blessing over our family. And I will tell you this, some of the prayers that have come out of my 9-year-old's mouth have been the highlight of my last month.
That's awesome, man.
And hearing him pray, I hurt my back recently because I'm a old man acting like a young man. And so the night I hurt my back, he prayed for my back. And he did such a good job of just not, it wasn't some theological prayer, but just, God help, fix my daddy's back. And that just touched my heart so much. Yeah. And so that's kind of been the highlight of my last couple months, is just getting some things in order.
Yeah.
And I think that's super critical.
A reset. I believe that we all need resets at times in our life. I mean, and God sometimes allows things to enter into our lives to have that reset, you could say. I would say I'm kind of in the middle of a reset as well, a little bit, just a lot of things in my life that are kind of feel out of kilter, out of balance a little, and just allowing God to work in my life. In it's in every phase of my life. It's in business. It's in personal life. It's in my faith. It's in every aspect of my life. I think I've kind of got out of balance somewhat, and it's just I think it's always good to keep yourself in check when it comes to those things. But Kirk, what's a highlight of your last?
Oh man,
little bit?
well, y'all know like the personal
Yeah.
stuff that's been going on probably for a
absolutely.
year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah.
So, not to go into details or whatever, but man, God showed up and restored my family together. My
That's
wife
awesome.
and my children and myself. And it's funny y'all say that because Corey, I'm kind of dealing with the same thing right now, is noticing my son knows more about football than Jesus. I was just thinking the other day, he's spitting off, who played this, how many sacks, knows all of it.
Yeah.
And then that is so funny. You said you're dealing with the same thing because God got my attention about that the other day. But I'm definitely going to get that app. But man, after so many prayers and truly hard times over the past, for sure, 6 months, just staying faithful and believing even when you don't feel it is that true faith. Like, I've said so many prayers to God. I think I told you this the other day, Clinton, is like, Lord, I don't feel it right now. I'm having to say it out loud because in my spirit right now, I don't feel the peace that you've given me before. I don't feel okay. So I'm going to say it out loud and say, I trust you and I know you have a plan. And then in this situation, what happened, I didn't know that my children were praying with my nephew the night before this was done, and they prayed for it. So my children got to see God show up and answer a prayer and become real to them.
Yeah. That's awesome. Because a lot of times as adults, we tend to focus so much on, yes, we take our children to church, we introduce them to the gospel, but we sometimes forget that they try to help them experience what Christ does in our lives, and if they can at a young age experience those moments, it goes a long ways for them later in life on their faith journey, you could say. But yeah, I mean, it's I know what's your story, Kirk. I know what's happened in your life, and I believe that. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you where you've been and where you're at now. And I know that, like you said, it's still a journey, and you still have a long ways to go. And I think we all do.
And thank y'all for the support through all this too.
Yeah, because I know it's been, and there's other people in the room behind, and I won't mention names, but behind the cameras right now, not referring to Sean, someone else that has also been going through some really tough times, and I feel God's showing up there. Yeah. It's crazy how we, as human beings, see mountains ahead of us, and we forget who's going to help us climb them.
Yeah.
All we see is the mountain, and as we start to climb and we start to go through them things, that storms or whatever that is, when we surrender to God, it's never as bad as it seems. It just is not. And most times we create, in some form or some way, we create the mountain.
Absolutely.
From our decisions. Not always. God sometimes, I mean, you look at Job in the Bible where he, I don't think that he created that. I mean, says that there was no one in the land. I mean, that's God's words. He said there was no one in the land that had faith like Job. No one. But yet God allowed him to go through something. And there's moments as believers when we're close to God that he allows us to go through those things. But it's to grow us, it's to make us better. It's to help us become a better version of what God intended us to be. And a lot of times it's preparing us for something bigger.
Yeah.
That's where it most times goes. It's preparing for something bigger. So right now, I think in this room as we sit, all of us can say the last 6 months to 8 months to a year have been hard, have been tough. There's a lot of changes that have happened in our lives, whether it's family, work, you could go down the list of things. But at the end of the day, I truly, truly believe it's because God's preparing us for something bigger. But it's up to us as individuals. It's up to us to decide, are we going to allow it to crumble us or are we going to allow it to grow us? Are we going to become a better version because of it, or are we going to just sit still and not allow it to work in our lives, you could say. That's kind of where I am right now. I feel like, and I didn't share my highlight. I would say for me, my highlight, and I know this may sound crazy, but I think my highlight is that God has allowed me to go through a few things in the last month to kind of shake me and to make me focus back on Him a little more. I know that's and I could go into details, but I'm not. But it's made so that my focus is on Him more than it's been in a little while, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that God has, blessed me with the hard time that we've went through in the last month for that reason, because now I see Him again for who He truly is. When I kind of got blinded a little over the last 3 to 4 months prior to that with some things that were going on and things I allowed into my life that shouldn't have.
He'll get your attention.
He will. And we have to – I shared this with you the other day, Kirk, about the ladder.
Yep.
We climb this ladder of life, and we climb 10 rungs, and then something happens in our life and we slip down 3. What defines a man and what defines someone's life is if they hang on at the 7th rung or they start climbing again. You climb up 10, you fall down 3, climb up 10, fall down 3, climb up 10, fall down 3. You are climbing still. You are headed in the upward projection of life, or you're headed in the right direction. But it's about when you slip back down, get your feet your footing again, and get back to climbing, baby. Get back to it. And that's where I am right now in my life. It's time that I get back to climbing.
Back to the book of Job.
Suck it up, Buttercup. That's kind of where I'm at.
So the book of Job, a lot of people wonder, like, why did God allow that? Why did God allow that? How many thousand years ago was that? And we're still talking about the faith that Job had. Mm-hmm. So if anything, he went through all that, and we're still have him as an example. So the trials and things that we go through in life, and my story, who can relate to you one day and you be able to tell them, man, I know what you're going through, and your story is the example that helps them get through their chapter of their life.
Yes, it's in Galatians 6:9. It talks about says let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. There's a do y'all ever get just burned out from always, in a way, trying to find the good in everything?
I think so.
Or doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my life, like, I'm generally a pretty cup half full kind of guy. Mm-hmm. So there are times where I do feel like I'm like, golly, like I feel like I'm the only one. I don't know that I get burnt out by the actual thought of it. Sometimes I get burnt out by where I feel like I'm the only one in the room sometimes that sees the half full side of it. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, golly, I just I feel like I'm dragging people, dragging family members, dragging.
I'm the guy that's. I'll just be honest. I'm the guy that's cup half empty, not cup half full, and that's not okay. But I mean, that's a struggle where I go through a lot.
I don't agree that that's a problem, because I think everything there's healthy balance. Mm-hmm. Especially, I think that's what makes me and you a good team. Mm-hmm. With us being opposites in there, because sometimes you bring me to the reality of the situation.
Yeah, because you're right. Because sometimes if we only focus on the positive, we miss the seriousness of the negative.
Yeah, and then also
That's
there's
true.
times that you are being a little negative, and I have to be the ray of sunshine, and it does you good. Mm-hmm. So I think there's in every aspect of life there's health and balance. Mm-hmm. I definitely I mean, in our country and everywhere there's a lot of pressure. There's heaviness on everyone, and I think for me, it's something I've been struggling with. This morning as we were prepping for another episode, I felt a heaviness on that episode, and we're going to try to get that episode rescheduled and all that good stuff, and it'll be great. But it's kind of funny how that goes sometimes. God's preparing us for something that we don't even know is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like today, I do think that as a culture and as the people who are watching this, you can sense there's a heaviness on your life. Social media puts a lot of pressure on us. Looking at the world climate puts a lot of pressure on, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. And I think what I want to convey to you during that, and something that's helped me, is understanding that, and I need to find, Kirk, you probably know it off the top of your head, but Jesus says that, in these times you'll face trials and tribulation, or in this world you'll face trials and tribulation, but fear not, for I have overcome the world.
Yep. Amen to that.
And so I think that's, we get on here and we talk about leadership a lot, but there's health and understanding where our source comes from as a team.
Yes.
Here's what we got to be careful of too. Everybody knows social media is a big problem with the mental health issue in America. So there's 8 billion people in the world. Let's say 1 billion people have social media. Whatever it is, we're not meant to intake 800 million people's bad days. So you got to be careful about what you're feeding your brain, mind, and conscious. We have enough problems of our own that we talk about amongst each other, and that's just heavy on its own. But we don't realize, subconsciously, what we're feeding into our mind, looking at, bad thing happened in Israel, bad thing happened, here and there, and it's constantly filled of negative attacks in our mind, instead of, we need to be intentful on combating that with the good word, the scriptures, and surrounding yourself with good people and talk about these things.
There's a quote that stands out for me here that I just found. It says, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." That kind of goes into what we're saying. So many times we're looking for all the information that's coming to us. What can we get out of it could be social media, it could be whatever. And if we flip that script and we say, you know what, today I'm not going to worry about what I get in return. And that's being selfless. I'm going to sow seeds of kindness today. I'm going to sow seeds of love today. I'm going to sow seeds of whatever that is. And we start flipping the script on the way the majority of the world looks at life today. Because as believers, I have a little bit of a problem, and I struggle with the same thing, and I've got a problem with myself. I got a little bit of a problem that we sit here in a just down and out mindset, when we can have Christ in our hearts, the one that gives life, the one that gives breath, and yet we live in, woe is me mindset. When we have the power of God living within us, what more do we need? What more do we want? And I understand. I just said that I struggle with being the guy that doesn't rely on that enough, and cup half empty mentality. Whereas if we could ever get, as a leader, I'm telling you, as a leader, if you stay in the mindset of cup half empty all the time, your team will leave you. The people around you will say, I can't handle this. I'm going to go somewhere where there's not so much negativity in my life. And you as a leader are a direct line of positivity to your team. And if you cannot be positive, don't expect your team to be positive. And I'm an example of that, because I've seen it so often in this last month, where I'm the guy coming in the room feeling down and out, and then I get frustrated at my team because they're not performing at the level they need to.
Well, as a leader, you set the tone.
Absolutely, you're the thermostat, baby.
So and I'll there'll be days where you have a day like that, and everybody's fired up, and you come in and you're a little down, and it does drop the temperature. But as other leaders inside the business, we have to understand, and this is speaking to, you've got your, there's multiple tiers of leadership. You also have to have a charge as a leader in that business to, like, and this is something I try to do, even when you're having a tough day, you sit there, like, I know you're having a tough day mentally or whatever because you have pressure on you. I have to sit there and go, I've got to turn it up a notch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I've got to counteract what you're going through, because you're allowed to have those feelings.
Right, yes, absolutely.
You're allowed to have those emotions, but as a team of leaders, like me and you talked about yesterday, we have a team around each other, so if one can't give everything they've got that day,
others step
we
in.
pick up the slack.
Yeah.
And we say, hey, listen, we're going somewhere. It's worth it. If that means I have to give just a little bit more, that's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So back to, you brought up earlier, do not cease in doing good and the seed planting. I heard something the other day, is that it's our job to plant the seeds knowing that we may never enjoy the shade from what we plant.
Mm-hmm.
What we do now is not just about us. We're going to do good regardless and plant these seeds, even if we may never benefit from them, but someone will.
Mm-hmm.
That just popped out in my mind. You said seeds and doing well. I was like, oh, I heard that
That's
on
good.
Rick Burgess.
That's
show.
good, yeah. That's real good. So I want to, and this kind of goes down the same rabbit hole, but I was with a group of leaders like 2 weeks, maybe it was last weekend. It was last weekend. It was last weekend. And one of the conversations that kept coming up a lot was, man, there's so much that change that I've had to do this year in my business. And there is such a burnout in the leadership world right now because of all that. How do we maintain a healthy mindset when it feels like every single moment of every single day, it seems that way for me anyway right now, that we have to change something because of the temperature of the economy, the temperature of just whatever. I mean, there's so many different factors that you could say that are playing into this or into that. But in 2025, I believe that there's, for me personally as a business owner, there's been more changes that I've had to do than any other year I've ever had experienced. And because it seems like times are changing, or things are changing so fast and so often, that today I look at it and I say, okay, this is the decision I need to make for the betterment of my people, for the betterment of the company, for the betterment of my family and my life. And it seems like 5 hours later, a week later, a month later, something else comes at from a different angle, and you're like, oh, hold up a second. The changes I just made ain't going to work no more. I got to go back to the drawing board again and make changes again. For me this year, I know that that's happened probably 5 to 6 times.
Yeah.
And I will be very honest, I'm back to the drawing board right now again.
Yeah. You and it's discouraging.
It's very discouraging. So how do we as leaders stay motivated, stay focused, stay grounded in where God has us and we believe the calling he has on our life is, when there's a continuation of that? And how do we keep from burning out? How do we keep from saying, okay, well, if this is how it's going to be, then I'll admit I've said them words in the last 3 weeks to my wife. If this is how it's going to be moving forward, I just want to sell out and just reset and allow some of this craziness to pass, and then I'll get back in the driver's seat later. But that's not.
Have you fasted about it?
Well, I mean, definitely fasted and prayed. Yes, 100%, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not. I'm, and that's okay. I'm more talking. Not really talking on a spiritual standpoint right now, and that I know that plays into it. I'm more just talking the temperature of the world today in decision making, just in the basics of decision making, always having to change. And I'm not trying to. I know spiritual plays the majority role into this. Yeah, but I'm more just saying from the standpoint
of how you maintain your mindset during that process. my mind goes to, and obviously I don't have this perfected because we're going. I mean,
y'all are all in the same journey with me.
We're in the same boat.
As-
But and I'd love to hear. Hey, if you're watching this video, you got comments of how to do this, please drop it in there. We're still trying to figure this thing out, but I think it has to start centered around our purpose, right? Mm-hmm. We have to keep that so locked into our eyesights,
and maybe that's where where I'm slipping a little. But here's the thing, Corey. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna add something more to it. What about the fact though that when we have been so purpose driven that you're having to change so much that you about don't have time to focus on that purpose and focus on that calling that you feel like, because you're always having to adapt, because if you don't adapt, you won't be even able to carry your calling out anymore.
So I think we've used this term a lot this year, is we reversed engineered things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right.
Right?
That's right. We have.
Maybe it's time that we reverse engineer our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what I mean by that is the way we came up with our purpose driven, and mind you guys, we're really letting you in on the scenes on some of this stuff. This is real conversations we're having right now as businesses.
Absolutely. Yes.
Maybe it's time that we throw our purpose up there on the board and we walk it back.
Mm-hmm.
Because and correct me if I'm wrong, we've done, okay, we're doing business, we're doing this business, which gives us this, which gives us that, which helps us achieve this.
Mm-hmm. But what about this? I'm gonna throw a wrench at you again. I'm gonna throw more of a wrench at you. I've came to the conclusion that my purpose as a personal purpose in life is not Corey's purpose.
Yeah.
So my purpose in life in the business may not be Corey's purpose in life.
Yeah.
Maybe the business will help Corey carry that out in a different way, different form. So maybe I have focused too much on trying to get my team wrapped around my purpose instead of saying, hey, this is my purpose, and I'm going to act on that through my business. Allow your purpose, Corey, your purpose, Kirk, to let the business be a tool for you to carry that out, but it may be different than what mine is.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with that? We have created a thing in the business world where we are, as a leader, we're saying, if he doesn't line up with my purpose, then he don't need to be on my team. That's not okay, because God has individual callings on each other's life. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have values and a direction that the team goes and so forth, but it is not Kirk's responsibility to carry out Clinton's calling, is what I'm saying. I think we have missed a point just a little bit of asking Kirk, what do you feel like your calling is on your life? I feel like mine is to help develop people in becoming the best version of themselves they can be. But Kirk's may be a little different. What is Kirk's? I need to ask Kirk, what is his? And then he says, well, I feel like this is the path God has me on right now. So how can I as a business help Kirk carry that out? That's where you get power. Mm-hmm. That's where you get buy-in. Mm-hmm. It's not Kirk's, hey, Kirk, my purpose is this, get on board or get out. Mm-hmm. That's where my head is recently, where my head's been recently, is I think the business world, it has created this thing of either get on board with what I want or out. My purpose statement is this. My mission statement is this. We're on this train together, and you better not have anything else. It's that or else. When God has a different plan for Corey and a different plan for you, Kirk, and it's you, Sean, and I mean, I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole here, but do y'all see where my head is?
As a God-centered company, regardless what your purpose is, your purpose, all of our purpose is intended by, I believe, at the end of the day, to bring people to Christ.
Absolutely.
In some way, shape, form, or fashion. We were talking about the body of Christ earlier. There's different members that do different things. So I guess, at least, with your business, I know, at the end of the day, that's it, and you helping everyone grow and reach whatever gift God has for them to reach that end state and staying focused on that, which of course a business has, y'all have a whole lot more going on with that, but keeping that end state inside that, hey, remember at the end of the day, remember God's company. We're doing this all for God.
Yeah, there's values that have to be upheld.
Yeah.
That's not, I guess, everything needs to be focused, like you said, through the Word of God and through the eyes of Christ, you could say. But I'm taking it a step deeper and saying, if you can help others find, just like it talks about, if you can help others achieve their dreams, they're going to help you achieve your dreams. Say it in if you can help others achieve their purpose, they're going to help you achieve your purpose.
So back to your original point of how we stay motivated and keep mentally in check while we're in turbulence in the business world and in life. Maybe that's something we need to explore is throughout our whole team. Hey, what do you feel like your purpose is?
Right.
Okay. Then we get all that data together, and this is an undertaking here that I'm talking about. Once we get all that data, I just have a crazy feeling, right, that there's going to be more things that are tied together. What I mean is, what I mean is, like, they may be similar, or they go together, or they're. What I'm saying is, I think once we get all of that, you're going to start seeing puzzle pieces.
What'd you say about writing it down, Clinton?
Right.
All the time,
Right. If it ain't wrote down, it don't matter.
That's right.
And
that's a good idea.
It changes from, what is the business's purpose to what is
our purpose.
Our purpose.
So, but I'm gonna ask you this: then, what if somebody's way out in left field with their purpose and it doesn't line up? Are we just kicking them to the curb?
No.
You say what I mean by that is, like,
no.
let's say there's a majority. There is a majority. 90% kind of have a similar feeling that this is the direction God has for them in their life, but you got 10% that are way out here, way out here, way out here. Do you just avoid those things, or do you say, okay, this is the majority of what we're focused on, but they also matter, so we're going to tie in to those things as well?
I'm going to say, why not?
Why not? Say their
why
team
not?
members,
if they're not
I agree.
aligned with the purpose of this company and your business, and that you're being shown that, hey, there's someone else you could bring in possibly that helps benefit everybody, because sometimes everybody can't stay. I know you've had this conversation plenty of times.
I agree with that.
So if it's kind of like problem solving a little bit about your business, where you're going. You get an idea. I mean, are they just here for?
But I'm more saying that it's a legit God-centered calling.
So let's play pretend here, and like I say, audience, you're just here. This is what a lot of times happens in our meetings. Is
sorry guys,
did you just
my foot hit my chair. I'm like, did my chair just go out?
I had it on my shot too.
That's great.
That is hilarious.
My foot caught it. I was like, what's going on?
So this is how meetings actually go behind closed doors. Is there's a lot of bouncing back and forth. So if you don't have that in your meetings, give it a try. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We call it constructive arguing. So that person. So we have the majority of the 90%ers in our circle here, and I should probably draw this so I can actually show the audience. So if we got a 90% of the team is here in the circle, and say we've got a 1% here that's over there, 5% here. Then you got.
Can you do the math?
Yeah, I think so. I used to work in accounting, believe it or not. And then 1% over here. Yeah, that's 5. And then another 5% here.
No, you got it wrong, Corey.
No, I don't.
There's a 5%.
Oh yeah, it is. that 5% just got let go.
That's why. You're
Yeah,
not-
we just
Anyway,
let that.
He's not an accountant anymore.
Yeah. So see if you can get a wide shot on that. Let me show JD here with the zoomable camera. So what if in this 5%, this 1%, 3%, 1%, what if that is God trying to increase our coverage of a purpose? And we end up being something like that
Instead of just the 90.
instead of just the 90.
I like that. That's actually good.
And so I think
That's actually good, ain't it?
I think you have to be aware that yes, we're going to focus on that 90%, right? But we're also going to focus, if they're a team member, they're on your team, they have value.
That's right.
There's a reason they're there. So if they feel like their purpose is this, then we have to help them achieve that purpose.
Yeah.
And it might be God increasing a area.
What if their purpose doesn't align with the company's purpose, and maybe
I think that
pushing
goes-
them out to seek their purpose?
I think
and
that's
allow them?
possible.
Well,
but I think
yeah.
that comes back to, I mean, there are certain things that are going to fall outside of the company's values.
Yeah, there's still a value center.
Yeah.
That you have to those purposes have to fall under. Absolutely. Like I agree with that. Like if someone's purpose doesn't line
I
up
mean,
with the
we're
values,
what if in here.
the values of our company, like what we actually believe we are, you could say, our character.
Yeah.
If it falls outside of that character of who we believe God wants us to be as a business, and that person says, well, my purpose is, I mean, I don't know, we could probably go down some crazy rabbit trail.
So if
Well, I thought that's
somebody
what we're doing.
says, hey, I feel like my purpose is to gain as much profit as I can by doing shady deals and ripping customers
No matter
off.
what it takes, I want my bank account full. That's my purpose.
Okay. All right. Well, we have the core value of integrity.
Yeah.
Right. So that's an automatic conflict. And so
Yeah, I got the core values and things.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
on that paper, what are you talking about? Those 1% and 5% are.
Well, it
what
could be,
those be?
okay. All right. So 90% could be like, hey, we are all about helping people, in any way possible whatsoever. A 5% could be, well,
Well, what
I-
if? What is the purpose of your business, Clinton?
It's pretty simple. Is to provide resources to help people unlock their full potential.
potential and
Okay.
servant
lead-
leadership.
servant leadership.
Right? But
So that's,
somebody,
let's say that's the 90%.
so that's the 90%. Okay.
Help develop individuals into you. I'm thinking about changing the mission statement. Just by the way, that's been on my mind recently, and changing it to something more like this, to help people unlock their full potential in the calling God has in their life.
Yeah.
Instead of servant leadership, which then would see what it would do.
Encompass
Just then,
more.
it would encircle all that other.
Yeah.
It makes sense too, because we're always talking about, like, all of us. We're like, oh, this, I feel like this, this particular thing is my calling, and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I guess that's what I'm saying is there may be something out here that's like, hey,
my goal is to help orphans or children that don't have a home.
Perfect. And
That's
and,
what I feel like my calling is in my life.
so-
There's 5% sitting over here.
and we have a team member that has that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think he'll care.
Yeah, Conrad.
It's Conrad.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
his heart.
Conrad
passion. It's been
is
from a young
so-
age. I remember young age he would talk about.
Yeah,
that.
he is so passionate about that. So we do that, and we accommodate that inside of our business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like we need to put it down on paper.
Yeah.
To
What's
include it.
another random one? Like, let's Kirk, think of something. I mean, it don't have to be somebody, but just drug addicts.
Yeah.
They have a heart for drug addicts. So people
Yeah.
that are in recovery.
That would be mine.
Okay.
That's
okay.
something. I
So you could say that's a 3%er.
Yeah.
Okay. That's 3% of it. So how do we incorporate that into our mission to not only help you achieve that, but and another thing it'll do, it'll bring loyalty like no other. I mean, let's be honest. we don't do this for a ROI, but there would be a natural
Yeah.
return on it.
I mean, look at the listeners out here with you getting people on and saying that. Like, for instance, there's so many people and connections out there that could reach out to y'all and give you the resources and say, hey, we need help over here on this side of town with some foster children or someone, hey, if you have experience, come speak at this AA meeting or something you have in the church to start these
absolutely.
programs.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying.
It's like a resource.
Like embody everybody.
Yeah.
Because won't that keep burnout from happening?
I'm this is crazy that because like
Corey's
yes.
excited. Corey got excited.
Yes, Corey got really excited because like I feel like we like I love doing this. I love helping leaders get better. This is a part of who Corey is. Like you go back to fundamental me as a child, I get to do what I love. Like being on this podcast, talking to random people, I get to do it. It fires me up. It's probably like on Fridays when we record a podcast or we go out to a live event, you ask my wife, like I am giddy to get up. Like, but I am like having this conversation, like it fires me up so much because I think of team members that we don't incorporate everything that they're passionate about and they have purpose about, and I think to myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, they'll get so excited about it and they'll get so fired up about it that we are as a company, as a place you work, because here's the facts, not a lot of people have these conversations inside of business.
No.
And that's a challenge. If you're watching this channel and you're trying to get better as a leader, have these conversations, because if you want your people to get up and work their tails off, incorporate what they are passionate about and what they feel like they were put on this earth to do, you will not sleep because you're so passionate about it. Like there are nights that I don't go to sleep. I actually had to go to a sleep study consultation. That's a real joy if you ever get a chance to do that. There are a bunch of nice people up there at the UAB Sleep Center.
That sounded sarcastic.
It is. The guy asked me, I got to tell y'all this. The guy asked me, he said, doctor, he said, now what brings you to see me today? And I said, I took my wife to my primary care doctor's appointment. And he looked at me, he kind of laughed, and he goes, you believe it or not, that's a lot of the reasons I see men. And, but I don't sleep. I told the doctor, I said, I don't have a problem sleeping. I have a problem going to sleep because my mind is constantly turning about, hey, how can I communicate? How can I be a better leader to my team? How can I do this? That passion comes out of someone believing in me. And that goes into a credit of you and your dad and Jimmy and everybody else that speaks life over me and calls that passion and that calling out of me. And so to have the conversation that we're going to talk about incorporating other leaders and other team members' passions, that fires me up because I'm like, there's nothing that'll stop us.
Right, absolutely. And you could, here's a theory. So let's say that you take a percentage and say we land on, because if you have 100 people in your business and there's no way that you could achieve 100 purposes. Let's be real. So you, like you said, you have to kind of sum them into a bucket. Yeah. Use a bucket effect where this kind of ties somewhat into this one and this, and they kind of somewhat, intertwine. Yeah. And so you put them in a bucket. But let's say you have one of them that falls into a 60%, and then you have, and you say, okay, I'm going to come up with 100%. Well, it'd be 100, and you could say 120%. I know that Matt sounds weird, but what I'm getting at is, and you take one per month. The ones that are larger, you may focus on them 6 months out of the year, a little bit more in depth. You may focus on one area more 1 month out of the year. And I'm talking actually it's a tied in focus. This month we are focusing on the orphans and the foster care system. That doesn't mean throughout the year that you're not doing other things that kind of tie into that, but that is this month is that.
Yeah.
These next 2 months are that. And so it basically will never get forgotten.
Yeah.
because it's always in a 12-month cycle. It's coming up.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, somewhat.
Yeah.
So
And I know what I
Doing
know.
something.
Yeah, and I know some leaders are sitting there watching this, and y'all are in y'all's business, and like, Corey, I love what you're talking about, but we ain't making money right now, right? Let's talk about that reality, right?
well, before we go down that rabbit trail, let's
Yeah.
let's take a break for our great sponsor, Stroke Gains. Just give them a watch here. Out on the course, hydration is the difference between fading and finishing strong.
That's why we use Stroke Gains Hydration. Each stick pack delivers electrolytes and vitamins to fight fatigue and to keep you focused.
No sugar crash, just hydration with flavors that make it easy to keep sipping. Watermelon, lemon lime, and a new orange.
Fuel your body, sharpen your mind, and play your best game.
And we are back. Y'all make sure y'all check out Stroke Gains. They got a new flavor right now.
Yeah.
That's
I got mine pre-ordered, baby. Supposed to be in the mail.
supposed to be in the mail.
Yep.
Good stuff. So, Corey, you were saying how do there's business owners that hear this and they're sitting here saying, well, that's fine and dandy. That's great. That's a great idea. But when you ain't got profits, and it's right now, especially in this last year or two, it's been a little tougher. Well, how am I going to? I can't even I don't have the funds to carry out my purpose. How am I going to carry out the purpose of everybody else around me? And that's a real question.
That's such a real question that I think that we need to address. First of all, you can affect an area without money by just giving it the attention it deserves, right? So, yes, giving money is great, and it definitely accelerates things. But one thing that we talk about all the time is serving. So there may be a way that you can, hey, talk to that area. Some form of your business can serve them in a positive way. You can do it with time. Hey, we're going to help, this Saturday, as a team, we're going to go volunteer and help that area or help this situation, whatever you're passionate about. And then the biggest thing, praying for them.
Oh yeah, and time and prayer, you could say, are the two most. I mean, we all got it. We all there's every single one of us have 24 hours in a day. Every single one of us do.
It may be as simple as just talking about it.
There you
go.
go.
The best leaders I've had throughout the military, Army, you as my boss, has been knowing when they bring up, they care. They have a conversation with me and take the time to show that they care about what my purpose is. Just you taking the time and talking to me about, hey.
Reminding your team what their purpose is and saying, hey, what have you done recently for your purpose? Oh, just share a story. Oh, man, that is awesome. I love that. I'm proud of you. What does that do to that team member when their leader cares enough about them to say, what you care about matters?
That's just it. The caring part.
What
you
you
actually care enough to ask me
what
how,
you care about. Yes,
what I think.
Right now, there may not be profits to say, hey, let's go help. Let's go put, let's sponsor 5 children because your passion is orphans. Okay, maybe their funds ain't there to do that. Okay, but what are other ways, at least during those times, that we can keep awareness to that? And I'm not a big guy that says, oh, we need to bring awareness to this and awareness to that and awareness to this, because there's a lot of people bringing awareness that do nothing.
Yeah.
That conversation may spark in their head to get out and do something on their own.
This awareness thing, people can call me out for this. I don't care. But I'm tired of hearing, I'm going to bring awareness to this and awareness to that. Do something about it.
Yeah.
There's times where you can bring awareness to all kinds of things and do nothing about it and nothing changes.
Yeah.
You can but I do believe that I'm kind of being contradicted to myself here.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you can't afford to physically spend profits on it, then time discussions, conversations. There's a lot of different things that you can do out there that will continue that purpose until you can get back to profits, you could say. You know, I would say we're in a stage right now where my mission, my focus isn't the profits are down. Let's be real. I think that's across the board. Actually, I was at kind of going down a rabbit trail here. I was at Subway last night getting that sandwich that I talked to y'all about before the podcast was live. And the girl there said something about that. She's like, she knows it's extremely tough, so she is making sure that everybody knows what the specials are, what the cheapest way to go is, and all this and that, because she cared about what other people's finances. And when she said that, she was like, it's really tough for a lot of people. Yeah. And it hit me. I was like, so it's really tough for a lot of people. So have I, as a leader, 100% tied every bit of our mission to the profits, and if we're not spending money, we're not able to carry our mission out? I think I've done that a little bit. We have to be careful as leaders that we don't focus on the dollar that can go out, but focus on the mission, and the dollar is just a tool to carry that.
And I want to reiterate on the importance of that conversation having as a leader with your employer and your team, because I remember working before the Army stuff, the plants and things. Normally when you see a leadership come around, it's because something's wrong or everybody's kind of hush-hush and being quiet. Are you that leader that when you come around, are your employees or team, are they excited to see you? Or are they like, is he here because I did something wrong? Or is he here just to complain about something wrong? Or it's like, it's excitement. Clinton's here. He's going to talk to me about something. Like, it's a joyful thing when they see you coming.
Right. That's how it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Lately, Corey sees me coming. He's like, oh no, here comes the Debbie Downer walking into the room.
That is not so true.
It's a little bit though. Yeah, no, we had this conversation. Like, I'm in that season right now. I want to be real to the audience. Right as I speak, I am not where I need to be as a leader. I'm kind of in a valley mentally as a leader because of what we shared, all the changes. But you're right, Kirk. I set the temperature when I show up, and I don't show up with the right mindset. My team feels that they're going to react that way. That just is. Yes, I know what you said, Corey, about that other leaders need to carry each other, and I agree 100% with that. But at the end of the day, for me being the CEO, the president, the buck stops with me. I have to be able to come into a situation and bring positivity probably at a higher level than anybody else.
You're the thermostat. There
you go. So, I think that's very key, though, going into this, continue this conversation about helping people with their purposes. I also can set your thermostat as a team member for even your purpose. I can walk in and say, what have you done for, whatever that is, you could say. What have you, well, I hadn't been able to do anything. Well, have you prayed about it? Have you prayed for them people? Just encourage, And I understand when you have a large company, it's going to get tough to be like, you're probably going to have a journal with everybody's purpose in it so you don't forget it. But
it also falls down to your other tiered leaders.
Yes, you're right.
Too. Like, I should know my guys' purpose like the back of my hand. And I should be encouraging them daily. And I also need to be a tool for you to say, hey, when you go, you stop by my office, hey, when you get a second, go encourage, Lyndon, like on his purpose. Like, I've noticed a dip in that. Go encourage him, or go encourage JP, And so I think there is that team effect that you can implement. But before, go ahead.
I got something here that I just seen.
Yeah.
That just hit me hard. If your vision can survive a season of no profit, it proves it's not a business gimmick, it's a calling.
That's good.
If your vision cannot survive a season of no profit, it proves, if your vision can survive a season of no profit, it proves it is not a business gimmick, it's a calling.
Yeah.
That's good.
I agree with that. And speaking of a company that has a great vision and a great purpose, do you want to let's
let's
transition to talk about Farmhouse Coffee and the great job that they do.
Every single podcast, I sit down at my chair and there's one sitting right in front of me.
Yep.
They
amazing. Do a fantastic job, and they do. You know what I love about them?
What's that?
Every time I go in there, I leave in a better mood.
You're right.
They're just so amazing. Paul and his team.
Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll hold up the line because I'm having a conversation.
I know.
I feel kind of bad.
I don't feel that bad, but anyway, check out this video of Farmhouse Coffee.
You know, Corey, there's something special about starting the day with a good cup of coffee.
Absolutely, Clinton. And around here, there's only one place that does it right. Farmhouse Coffee.
That's right. Farmhouse Coffee isn't just a coffee trailer. It's an experience. Their slogan says it all. We love Jesus, you, and great coffee.
And they live it out, too. Every time you stop by, you're met with a smile, a warm welcome, and some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet.
From lattes to cold brews, every single cup is made with care. And I can tell you, it's some of the best coffee you'll find anywhere.
Plus, there's something about the way they treat you. It's not just about coffee. It's about the connection, encouragement, and leaving you better than when you came.
So wondering where to find them? It's easy. Just check out Farmhouse Coffee on Facebook to see where they're parked today.
Exactly. Whether you're on your way to work, meeting up with a friend, or just need that little boost to get through the day, Farmhouse Coffee is the stop you'll be glad you made.
Farmhouse Coffee, brewed fresh, served with purpose.
Awesome. Go check them out. You can check out their Facebook to see where they're set up, and I promise you, get their pumpkin spice. It is wonderful before the season's over. So, well, guys, I think that this episode, going into it, I want this to be known. I'm a prepared kind of guy, and Clinton wouldn't let me be prepared. He didn't tell me anything we were going to talk about. So,
well, I mean, you got to be real. It kind of we had to
pivot.
This one.
We had to pivot quick. And but I hope the episode was good for our listeners. But I do think the overarching theme to this episode is the fact that we have to, as leaders, we have a charge as leaders to take care of our people and to take care of what they care about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you're going to reap a really good reward, because those people are going to be loyal to you. They're going to care about what you care about. I think it was oh Lord, I just lost his name, but there's a quote from one guy who says, if you take care of your employees take care of your customers. Mm-hmm. And so whatever business,
and your customers take care of your business.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. But the thing is, no matter what you're doing, whether you're selling metal, or you own a restaurant, or you do whatever you do, and maybe you don't even have a business, you just like to listen to us because sometimes we're funny.
That's hilarious in itself.
But no matter what, you're a leader in your life. You have been gifted a influence around the people that you're around. And so the one thing that as we feel more pressure in the current environments and the turmoil of everything's going on, the one thing that will make a difference in this world is to serve. Mm-hmm. Serve others. And that's why we talk about it so much, is servant leadership. It's we're trying to figure out how to do this thing in life and do it well and honor God through that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the thing that will set you apart from the other businesses, other people, is your ability to serve others. And
and remember that you shared it, Corey, and I'm a firm believer on this, that you have an influence. And that's what makes you, to me, what a leader is someone that has influence, and everybody has influence of some form, some shape. Make sure that you serve within that influence very, very well, because God says if we're faithful in the little things, He'll bless us with more things, I guess you could say, to be faithful in.
Mm-hmm.
So that small group, whether it's just my wife and 2 children, and that's where I am called to lead in the moment, that's where my influence is.
Home church community.
Do that well. And let that be, if you're saying, well, what is my purpose? Let that be your purpose start there. Start where you know God has called you to. Yeah. The fact is, if you're a husband, God, and you have a wife and children, you know for a fact that God has called you to lead them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So start there, and I promise you, if you do that well, God's going to unlock a bigger calling and a bigger purpose, and you'll see your influence start to grow from without, and all of a sudden that influence gets bigger and bigger, and the more of an impact you can make, and the for His kingdom and so forth. So don't think that my influence is so small it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: every single one of us started somewhere. We started, that small little batch of influence, and so many times we want to do this big thing in our life when we're not prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not, and God knows that, and He may not allow it because He cares about people, and He don't want people to get hurt through you not being prepared for that. So do it well in the corner that God has you in. Serve those in the corner God has you in, and I promise you, you will find a blessing like no other in that area. Mm-hmm. I promise you that. So I believe that this episode was, again, kind of off the shot from the hip, but I think it was what was needed for me and what was needed for people in this room.
If anything, we've talked several episodes. This has come up that we have therapy sessions in here before we hit record. Y'all just got to see a therapy session
yes.
For all of us with it being recorded.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
But,
I agree.
So that's okay. I feel encouraged.
Yeah, me too. And I hope y'all do as well. And we love everybody. I just want to leave this with you. Listeners, hold up. Make sure that you use your profits. Make sure profit is a tool, but your purpose is eternal. Remember that. Your profits in your business are just a tool, but your purpose is eternal. So if there's not profits, but okay, it's part of life. Yes, we're going to work to fixing that, but remember that there's that purpose is eternal, and that's what matters. That's what you see right behind me. You see this? It says purpose. Your influence that you have in leadership, make sure you focus there and do it well every single day. When I wake up today, I'm going to do it well for the kingdom of God, and because it's an eternal calling, it's an eternal purpose on my life. And those little children, my wife, I'm going to serve them at every step of the way in the best way I can. I'm going to show up every single day for them. And I'm going to love them. I'm going to care for them. I'm going to do what I got to do. Now, if you're a leader of a church, I'm going to show up for the people within my church. I'm going to be there. I'm going to share the word of God with them because it's an eternal calling. I'm a leader in a business. I'm going to show up for them people because their families matter. The lives around them matter. I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to, because it's an eternal calling. Wherever you are at, again, I cannot get this out enough. Make sure to show up for that, no matter what. And I believe if you do that, you will find a blessing of more than you ever can imagine. So we love you. We care about you. And we want you to have the best life that you can ever have as long as it lines up with the will of God. Make sure you always have Jesus in your heart, because that's what only matters. All this stuff we talk about doesn't matter if Jesus is not in your heart, because He's the one that matters. He's the one that makes a difference in your life. And so choose him today. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Let's remember that. So, guys, Corey, Kirk, it was a pleasure to wing this one with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Free cup of coffee.
Yep, absolutely. So, listeners, we love you. We care about you. And as we always say, make sure to always lead with a purpose. We love you, and God bless.